What's up, guys? How's it going? So, quick little video here. This one won't take that long. Um, Kathleen Kennedy recently had an interview with the Rolling Stone magazine. And it's not too great because she tried to claim that there's no source material to go based off when making these new trilogy movies. But let's go ahead and break down what she said. So she said, every one of these movies is a particularly hard nut to crack. There's no source material. We don't have comic books. We don't have 800-page novels. We don't have anything other than passionate storytellers who get together and talk about what the next iteration might be. So already we've got issues here. They destroyed the whole EU, and they destroyed the scripts that George Lucas gave them for 7, 8, and 9. So when they say that there's no source material, they did it to themselves. They decided not to go with George Lucas's scripts. I mean, in Bob Iger's book, he even says that George Lucas gave him scripts, but he didn't want to use those. He wanted to make his own. Or Lucasfilm wanted to make their own, I guess I should say. But the thing is, like, they even made it worse. They made it a lot worse than what the EU was. So that's just bullshit. But we're going to keep going. You start by talking to filmmakers who you think exhibit the sensibilities that you're looking for. And I would argue that the list is very small. But who really do have the sensibilities about these kinds of movies? And then the experience and the ability to handle how enormous a job these movies are. So we try to be as thoughtful as we possibly can about making these choices. Obviously. Because, you know, when you bring in J.J. Abrams, who a lot of people think that he destroyed the Star Trek franchise, or the Star Trek reboots, but you bring him in, and then he mucks up the Star Wars movies, what do you expect? Like, are you surprised that people aren't happy with the new movies? And then you bring in Rian Johnson, who has very little film experience compared to some other directors that I think would be better. But you bring him in, and he absolutely destroys The Last Jedi. But we're not going to go off on a tangent about that, because there's so many things wrong with The Last Jedi that I don't even want to get into it right now. And then you bring J.J. Abrams back for the third movie. It probably would have been better just to have him do all 3 movies, have one director for 3 movies, or have like an overarching story, you know, that you're supposed to do as the president of Lucasfilm. Come up with an overarching story instead of each director doing something different. And then bring in another director to fix what the previous director did. But, yeah, we'll continue with this because I'm going to go off on a tangent. I would also argue that sometimes people get involved in the normal development process and then they realize, oh my god, this is so much more than I ever imagined. So it's pretty common that when you're working on movies that you're not making choices and decisions that necessarily work out. Really? You think Rian Johnson thought that? It's been an evolving process with lots of people and lots of opinions, and then you try to shape something into what it eventually becomes. So, I really do feel fortunate that I've worked with so many great people that have been absolutely committed, JJ being one of them. He's a huge fan, incredibly passionate about Star Wars, and has been from the moment he and I first sat down and started talking about this. And the more he got involved, the more excited he became. He probably wishes he'd been in a situation where he could have done all 3. Well, yeah, I bet he does wish he was in a situation where he could have done all 3. But as I said, these are huge projects, so it's very difficult unless there's 3 or 4 years in between. It's not really physically possible. But that's my take on this, guys. Like I said, short little video. Leave a like, comment down below if you would. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.